Hi everyone. As I was getting ready to sew in the pages of the journal, I realized I hadn't done the center. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to decoupage some napkins, and then all I've done is sewn some trim on these index cards, but we'll use those later. Those are going to go inside our pocket. What I want to do is connect these two envelopes together to make a little center for our journal. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is remove this. We're not going to be using this side of the envelope, so I'm just going to glue that shut. Okay, and then this side is how we're going to attach them together. I want to leave just a smidge so that I can fold that closed like so. And then we're going to trim the edge off the end of the envelopes. That will also even them up because they're a little off for not only the fact that the envelopes aren't necessarily square, but just, you know, this little wraparound takes it off a little bit. So we've got pockets here and a pocket here, okay? And on the inside, what I'm going to do, just for a little reinforcement, because these are, you know, Dollar Tree envelopes, I'm going to run a little bit of fabric down the middle, and like I said, we're not going to use this side of the pocket, so I think I might have gone too wide, but we'll find out. Maybe not. Looks like I did okay. And I did leave a little overage so we can pull out some of these fibers at the end if we want. There we go. Fold that, make sure not exactly centered. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so while we let that side dry, we are going to decoupage this side. Now, I've got these napkins. I got these at Tuesday morning. They were $1.99, and I don't remember what clearance that was, but I know I didn't pay $1.99. I think I paid, well, at least 30% maybe less, but I thought these were cute, and all four panels are identical, but that's okay. So I've got a little brush that's damp here, so I want to take out this butterfly here. And carefully rip him out. And I think he's gonna end up back here. And then I'm just gonna divide this here. This brush is not, you know, really wet. It's just, I actually just rinsed it and brought it over here, and it's plenty of water in the brush that stays for me to do this, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on this side, this on this side, and then have that up there a little bit. I do want to take off a little bit more of this tissue. Don't need all that excess. I am going to leave the corners though, because I like to line them up with the corners of the envelope. Okay, so that's going to go there. That's going to go there, and let's see if I need to get rid of any. I just want to take a little bit of that down, because it does show somewhat. I think that's good. Okay. So I am going to use the glue stick to adhere it down. And you know, I like putting it on with the glue stick, because the glue stick kind of just disappears into the paper, and then I'm going to Mod Podge over this. So, oh, stuck to my finger. And if there's places that I've missed, that will pretty much be tacked down with the Mod Podge. So I think I like him there. Oh, I forgot to take off that little flat piece. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I've got Mod Podge here, and this is the same Mod Podge that we used for the cover. That's a little on the watery side. So I'm just gonna let it kind of drop out. I am going to do the whole page, however. Let me close my glue stick, I guess. Okay. So, get that down. There we go. I like the way that these napkins go well with the kit and with the coffee dyed paper here. That looks cool. Did I miss? I feel like I missed a spot here. Probably not, but just in case. Okay. Now we're just going to let that dry for a minute, and then we will, I would like to put a little butterfly on here, on the cards that'll go inside the pockets. I guess I better get a baby wipe. Okay, so I'm just going to put, wow, there's a lot of heavy duty coffee on that one. I'm just going to put a butterfly on each side. So there again, I'm just going to use this water brush, and I actually have a water brush somewhere. You know, I cleaned up and then I don't know where anything is. Okay, there's one, and you can do this without the water. I find that the water just kind of makes it tear where you want it a little better. But I am crafting in my studio is in my master bedroom next to my bed. I have a for my birthday one year, my husband bought me this setup, and it's this is basically a door, and it works perfectly because the doorknob is where all my cords go through. And then I have 4 cubby shelves on the top and the bottom. So the whole setup is about 12 feet long. But I'm right next to the master bath, so I have access to water. Okay. So I'm going to put one butterfly here. And one butterfly here. And then we will decoupage that on. And I am not going to do the whole card this time. I don't find it necessary, but I am going to just do the butterflies, and then I will be sanding it when we're finished, when it's dry. There we go. Okay, so let's see, you know, the way that I've got the mix for the Mod Podge, it dries relatively quickly. So on this side, I'm going to use the remainder of this napkin here. And I think I'm just going to come like I did before, right down the middle here. Don't really need the label, so I'm going to tear off the label portion. Which is kind of covering up part of this, but that's okay. So that can go there. Actually, this is easier when you don't have as much water in the brush because it won't spread as far, and you can kind of keep it where you want it. If you have too much water in the brush, it'll take off. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. So let's get that on there. You stay there. I guess I went over too far with the glue. But that's the good thing about the glue stick. It dries very quickly, and it doesn't leave a sticky residue. At least the Uhu doesn't. Okay. So this one, oops. Let's see. I think I did pretty good there. Okay. Oops. I didn't want to go over the fabric, but I guess that's not going to matter. I probably should have put the fabric on after, but that's okay. I also don't have a problem with the Mod Podge being sticky. I do use the, what is it? Yeah, the matte finish. And always let it dry real well before I, ever stack it on anything else too. So. Okay. That looks good. All right, so I am going to let these sit and dry for about 15 minutes, and then I will be back and we'll sand them and put them together. Okay, we're back. I think this is dry enough because I've gone ahead and I sanded these, and you don't want to sand really hard. You just want to kind of take the top layer down just a smidge until it feels smooth with your fingers. You can still see the image, and then I've just inked over this. I've inked around and then just kind of inked around this to kind of blend it in. You can probably see it better here with the ink on the corners. So I haven't done this side. I think I've done a little bit. I've done a little bit here, and I use this is a little rougher on one side than the other. I use the finer side, and I just kind of do little circles. Sometimes some of the paper will come off, and that's okay. You just don't want to do it so much that you make a hole in the envelope. So, and then I'll feel it, especially, down here, because this is where the napkin was embossed to keep the layers together, so it's got some dots, and they don't bother me too much, but sometimes that paper will come off like that. And that's okay. That just adds to the texture that we're going for. So this is pretty smooth, except for right here. Just rub a little more there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then this, we'll do this little butterfly. Now I want to be careful here because he's on the lip of this paper, so that'll make a hole right in his wing. I can already see it kind of. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and I'll come along this side. And you can feel it as you start to do the sanding, that it's more resistant to you. You see how this is coming back? That's okay. That means I didn't get enough glue underneath it probably, and that's okay. I've got enough flowers on here. I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to keep going around in circles here. Get that little piece off. I mean, it's supposed to look aged and tattered, and so. But as you get that smoother finish, you can feel less resistance with the file here. That looks good. What's going on with this flower? I think I didn't stick that one little piece down at all. Well, that's okay. We'll just take it out. And see, that's all smooth in there. This is where the embossed area was on the napkin. So that doesn't necessarily stick as well as other places. So that feels good. Okay, now let's do this side. And there again, we want to be careful over here on this lip because that will go right through. Just around in circles, kind of changing your direction. A little bit more here. There we go. And you can see the little, the little bits that are coming off. Let's do this side. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now I used this for the center, and that was to give it a little bit more stability with the fabric there. Just gonna bend that in half. So there we have the butterfly on the front. And what did I do with these? I want to go ahead and ink this first, so I'm going to go around the edges. You can see it's still a little pliable, so it's not quite as dry. I probably should have waited a little bit longer, but that's okay. And there's not a ton of ink on here, just enough. So I do want to, however, I'm going to start at the corner and kind of just go in and let it kind of fade out, and that kind of brings it all together there. And we'll do the same on the other side. And you can do whichever side you want for the actual center. I usually will tie a ribbon in the middle, piece of crochet lace or something. There we go. And you can see there's some texture on here, so I probably could file that down a little bit more. That must be the texture from the napkin that I didn't see that, but down here there's the little holes, but I've sanded those off. But I actually kind of think that's cool with that little bit of texture, and the ink picked that up. Okay, so we will tuck this one. Actually, I'm going to use this for the center because this will be the part that shows first. So we tuck that in there, and is that right? No, I have it this way. This is the way I have it. And then this will be the center, and the ribbon will be laying across that. So then this piece goes in here. Oh, and I did trim off about 1/4 inch off the bottom just to make sure that they fit inside these envelopes, because these are just your basic letter size envelopes. Got little pieces of the I'll have to get that off, the sponge, but there we go. I think that looks cool, and I think that'll look neat in the middle of the signature. So there we go. So now I think I'm going to come back and put glue another piece of trim on that side, so it's on both sides, because I think I would like to have the trim on both sides. But yeah, so now you can see I've got our little clips we did yesterday in the book, and I've put everything in. So now I'm going to take everything out that is not glued down and sew in the signatures and load it up with tags and journaling cards and such, and then we'll be back with a flip through. So thanks for watching. See you next time.